Alrighty, everybody. Good morning. It is 5:38 a.m. on October 27th, 2025. We have an update here on the tropics this morning. Really big update, actually. We officially have Category 5 on our hands. Melissa did it. Honestly, not surprised, given how it's been doing and how it looked. But anyways, good morning, everybody. Let's see here. Yeah, but it's definitely looking pretty nasty out there. Which we'll definitely be continuously giving you guys updates on it. We'll definitely keep you guys in the loop with everything. But I hope everyone is having a great night so far. But yeah, so right now we are a Category 5 hurricane. We are sustained at 160 mile an hour winds. Pressure has absolutely tanked down to 917 millibars now, which is just absolutely ridiculous. Pressure is extremely low. So the 5 o'clock update just came through not that long ago, and it did it. Finally made it to Category 5. So let's take a look at some of these new things here. I do want to bring up. I do need to close some of these tabs real quickly. I have so many tabs open. It's actually kind of crazy. But yeah, I do want to look at the. We'll actually pull up the new Hurricane Center's outlook here. Go ahead and show you guys. Let's go ahead and bring up my chat again. What's up, Tabletop? Good to see ya. Glad this thing isn't going to hit the U.S., but sad to see it hit land. It's going to be a disaster. Yeah, me too, but unfortunately, we're going to have some real nasty impacts out there in the Caribbean. Doesn't look like a whole lot has changed in terms of the precipitation forecast here. Looks like we're about the same. We still do have East Jamaica in the realm of possibly up to 40 inches of rainfall. So that's about a little over 3 feet of rain. Let's see here. Andrew, there's so many lightning around Melissa's eyeball. Yeah, it's been like that for a while. We have a lot of really heavy convection going on out there. Really, really heavy stuff. But yeah, like I said, system's definitely picking up quite a bit of strength here. Let's actually bring you all over here to the current wind. Oh, there they go. They finally issued those hurricane watches for the Bahamas. I was wondering when they were going to do that. They finally pulled that. So, yeah, we also need to watch out for the Bahamas. Not just Jamaica. We need to watch out for the central southern Bahamas too, eastern Cuba. And obviously Jamaica and Haiti. So Haiti has tropical storm warnings in effect. Jamaica has those hurricane warnings. You can see the estimated wind field here in the yellow. These are our tropical storm estimated, or our estimated tropical storm force winds there in the yellow. And you can actually see that Jamaica is pretty much all in that right now. So they're already experiencing some of those tropical storm conditions out there. Then we actually have the hurricane force winds here too, in that little red circle that you see there, which is well just south of Jamaica at this point in time. So system's going to continue moving west, and then it'll pull its way over here to the north because we have this cold front coming down, which will kind of knock it towards Jamaica, unfortunately. Let's see. Carrot says, judging by the drop soundings, I think 160 is solid downplay. North and east side easily has wind over 160, with north side potentially having over 170. Honestly, I think it's about right where it's at. Definitely quite quite a beast, though. Here, let's actually look at the latest Hurricane Hunter data. Yeah, we do got some missions going on here. Yeah, so Hurricane Hunters actually took out of, let's see here, they actually took out of Lakeland. Here, we have another mission going on, too. We got Air Force Hurricane Hunters and the NOAA Hurricane Hunters. Yeah, we have a lot of missions that's been going on out here for a good cause. Let's see. Carrot says, by the way, hey man, how are you? I'm doing good. Just tired. Didn't get any sleep since the last stream, but I just want to be up and covering this as much as possible. But hope you're doing good. Soul says, God, I thank you for this day. I asked you if you would guide me past today. Yeah, absolutely. Amen, Soul, for sure. Yeah. Make sure y'all say your prayers out for these people. It's going to be pretty rough. Let's see here. What's up, Cecilia? Good to see ya. Hope you're doing well. See, it's fine though. No upgrade it. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, the Hurricane Hunters, they're flying back into it. But anyways, y'all, this is the storm right now. She is quite a beast. Here, we're actually gonna pull up the. We're actually gonna measure the eye wall here. So from the west eye wall to the east eye wall. Ooh, it shrank quite a bit. So earlier when we were doing coverage for you guys out here, the eye wall was only 17 miles wide. We're now down to 15 miles, 15 by 16. So from the north to the southern eye wall, that is 16 miles. And from the west to the eastern eye wall, that is 15 miles. So it's not perfectly symmetrical, but it has shrunk quite a bit. Now, a shrinking eye does indicate that the system is quite powerful. And there's been quite a bit of lightning, actually. Let me actually bring up the sat view for you guys. Actually, we'll go ahead and bring up the infrared here. We'll do clean infrared so you guys can kind of see that. But yeah, look at all those little lightning indicators there. You can see right there in the eye wall, it is very, very active. Yeah, so an excessive amount of lightning like that, means that there's a lot of strengthening going on there. Let's see here. Prayers for all those in Jamaica, Kingston. They're going to get hit. Yeah, Kingston's going to be hit pretty good. It actually looks like the storm is starting to pull more to the north already, actually. I don't know if you guys can see that here. Let me zoom in here. Go ahead and show you guys. So if you zoom in, you look closely, you can see it kind of going northwest right now. So there's Jamaica. Yeah, at this point in time, unfortunately, the cone has shrank to the size of Jamaica, meaning that a landfall is unavoidable at this point. I mean, we're at the point now where landfall is basically guaranteed. And like I said, it is a Category 5. Hurricane Center, they do anticipate it strengthening by this afternoon. Wow, look at that. Yeah, Hurricane Center has a system gusting to 200 miles an hour later on this afternoon. Let's see here. A place like Jamaica would get mudslides too. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, mudslides is actually a really big issue that we're probably going to be facing with Melissa. On top of the really strong winds and the heavy rainfall, which I'll bring you guys back over here now. That's going to be a really big problem. So yeah, up here in eastern Jamaica, you can see they say possibly up to 40 inches of rainfall, which 36 inches, that's 3 feet. So 36 inches, so 3 feet 4 inches of rainfall there in that little spot in eastern Jamaica. Now, majority of Jamaica here in the pink, this is the range of 20 to 30 inches. The dark red is the range of 16 to 20 inches. The red, this shade is 12 to 16 inches. The orange is 8 to 12 inches. You can even see like eastern Cuba whenever we have that second landfall, which, yeah, the system is going to be making landfall again. We have several landfalls in the future. The first one in Jamaica, the second one in Cuba, and the third one in the southern and central Bahamas. So that is that. So definitely we got to look out there for that. Yeah, it's definitely going to be pretty impactful. What's up, Christopher? Good to see you. What's up, Starberries? Good to see you. Just want to say to everyone in chat, you're amazing. You're enough. Everyone loves you. Let's see. Where are you? I appreciate that. That's really nice of you to say. Thank you for that. Hope you're doing well. All right, so let's hop back over here, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys once again where these winds are currently at. So right here on this map, you guys can see this is the tropical storm force winds here in that yellow blob. So you can already see that the estimated tropical storm force winds is already going over Jamaica. So the impacts have already started. I'm sure the waters are getting pretty darn rough out there right now. But you can see, the hurricane force winds here in that little red bubble here is still south of Jamaica, in which eventually the system will be pulling its way to the north, over Jamaica. So, make sure if you have any more prepping to do, any more of that, just make sure you get it done as soon as possible. Because, the time's running out, unfortunately. Now, also, we need Eastern Cuba to be watching it, too. We're likely going to have a landfall of Category 3 strength. So the Hurricane Center actually has it at a Category 3 upon landfall here in Eastern Cuba. And we'll be sustaining winds of about 120 miles an hour. We'll be gusting to about 150. This will be for the morning of the 29th. They have it at 2 a.m., So, what's up, Patrick? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. And then, of course, once it rolls off of Cuba, it'll likely lose a bit of strength, due to the mountainous terrain that the system will be going over. It'll disrupt the lower-level wind field. And then by the time it goes over the Bahamas, it'll likely still be quite a strong storm. Category 2, probably sustained right around 105, gusting to 125, in which that'll be for the afternoon of the 29th overall. And then, like I said, it doesn't end there. Unfortunately, we also got to watch out by Bermuda because, they're right smack dab in the middle of the cone as well. They're right in the middle of it. Looks like Halloween morning. So 2 a.m. for the 31st. Will still be sustained at 90 miles an hour, gusting to 115 at that point. And then from there on, it'll continue up to the northeast. So, yeah, definitely plenty of impacts to come. Not just for Jamaica, but also, like I said, Cuba, even Haiti, even the Dominican Republic. There's a lot of heavy convection, a lot of heavy thunderstorm activity on the eastern side of the storm. So, you got the main block here. You got the main system, and then you got a lot of convection, a lot of thunderstorm activity off to the east of the hurricane here, in which, a lot of that rain is going to be falling eventually as the system pulls up to the north out there by, like, Haiti and Dominican Republic. Definitely going to be bringing quite a bit of rain. So all that's going to keep on going north as well. But then, yeah, the system does make landfall in Cuba. Let's see here. Patrick says November 2nd, I'm leaving from Miami, Florida to Charlotte. Let's see, St. Thomas and Nassau. November 2nd to the 9th. Will it be passed by then? So, yeah, no, by November 2nd it will be passed because on Halloween it's going to be up by Bermuda. So this is for the 31st, and you said the 2nd. So, yeah, no, it'll be passed by then. The water still might be a little choppy because it does take a little bit of time for things to calm down a bit. Once you get a storm like this, to fall. or to occur, I should say. So here's the mesoscale floater infrared cycle. You guys can see here once again. You can see all those little plus signs up there in the eye wall. Those are all lightning strikes. There has been an enormous amount of lightning activity inside of the eye, which is a clear indicator that the system is rapidly strengthening and rapidly developing. Also, the eye has gotten a lot smaller, considerably smaller, since the earlier live stream we did. So when we were live about, I don't know how long we were live ago, probably 3 hours ago probably, the eye was only 17 miles across from east to west. And now we measured it was down to, 15 miles? So we've shrunk about 2 miles already in the eye. That's pretty considerable. So since the eye is tightening up, and since that we have a lot of lightning, a lot of lightning activity, that's really telling us that the system is picking up quite a bit. All right, let me actually go ahead and bring up the radar. I do have a radar in Jamaica that I can show you guys. So let's go ahead and bring this up for y'all. I do want to show you guys current radar. Give it a second; it'll load here. But yeah, I mean the conditions are already starting to drop. Here we go. All right, here's the radar. Definitely pretty nasty looking. Here, maybe I can zoom in a little bit more for you guys. So that's the current radar view, as you can see. So in the last few scans here, it looks like the system is starting to move a bit more northwest, as expected. What's up, Lauren? Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I don't know, Carrot, maybe. But yeah, that's the radar. So we'll periodically look at that every once in a while. By the way, guys, if you could consider subscribing, it will help out the algorithm, help get YouTube to share this out. The more people we can reach, the better we can help out in general, potentially saving lives, and that's the whole reason of this channel. It's just to help out you guys and make sure y'all are staying safe and weather aware. So if you could, it would be greatly appreciated. And maybe even consider sharing this to a friend or a family member. Maybe you don't know anybody who's in the direct area, but maybe somebody you do know knows somebody, a guy who knows a guy. So it could definitely go a long ways, and it'll be greatly appreciated. I mean, even if we're helping out one person, it's more than worth it. So here's the lower level water vapor scan here. The green is indicating a abundance of moisture and saturation going on here. The yellow indicates kind of drier air. As you can see, the system is tons of moisture around it. The western side out there in the Gulf is pretty dry, but we do have a significant amount of moisture from kind of pulling from Central America, which is kind of fueling the system here. Let's see. I know a guy. I know a guy too. But anyways, so that's that. Let's see. Sample water. Oh yeah, simple water vapor. There you can see. The darker colors indicate drier conditions, and the bright stuff you see. This is where all the moisture is at. I wonder what a sandwich looks like. Oh yeah. If you look closely, if you follow it. Looks like it's ever so slightly moving kind of northwest. So I mean, it's starting to change there. Yeah, I mean, earlier it was moving directly west. Now it looks like it's starting to move a little bit more northwest. It's been wobbling quite a bit. Yeah, I mean, typically when you have a system with not much forward speed, the system's barely moving. It was at 5 miles an hour here. Let's take a look and see what it's at now. Oh, it's actually slowed down. Oh wow. Yeah, so earlier when we did our live stream, it was moving west at 5 miles an hour. Now it's moving west at 3. So it's slowing down a bit, actually. It's, I mean, kind of to be expected. It's going to slow down just before it takes that northerly turn. Tabletop, not really. No, it looks pretty much on track. How would I rate the eye compared to other hurricanes I've seen? I mean, it's an eye. I don't know. Do you want me to give like a rating on how good it looks? I mean, it's pretty solid 8. It's a solid storm. What's up, Lady Max? Good to see you. So much rain in Jamaica. Yeah, unfortunately, they're going to be getting hit pretty hard here. Let's actually take a peek back over at that here. So it's really going to be East Jamaica. I mean, really all of Jamaica, but East Jamaica has the greatest concern of rainfall, possibly upwards of 40 inches. You heard me correctly, 40. So 36 inches is 3 feet, and then another 4 inches on top of that. So possibly 3 foot, 4 inches of rain. You got to remember all that's going to go somewhere. And given the terrain, it's pretty mountainous. There's a lot of hills. There's a lot of valleys and stuff. And all that water is going to run into valleys, cause huge amounts of flooding due just to the sheer volume of water that's going to be involved here. And then, landslides, mudslides are going to be a really big problem too. Just because of all the flooding and stuff. So the water is going to be the ground's going to be very saturated. Let's see, do islands flood? Yeah, they can, absolutely. Yeah, not to mention, all the storm surge too. All that water that's going to be kind of getting pushed in from the storm. It's definitely going to be allowing for a lot of water. It's a very wet system. Not just in the water that's coming in from the ocean, but also the water that's falling from the sky. So that's what makes it a really big problem. And this fact that the system's moving very slowly, it's only going to prolong those effects. Meaning that the conditions are going to be there for quite a significant amount of time. Not just those hurricane conditions, but, also the rainfall and stuff. It's just going to allow for those heavy rainfall rates just to continue for hours and hours. So, anyways, but right now, everybody, it is a Cat 5. It did officially become one from the Hurricane Center. Not surprised, to be honest. We are sustained at 160 miles an hour. And the central low is down to 917 millibars, which has absolutely tanked. Let's see here. Yeah, it's going to be pretty impactful out there for sure. Publisher says, it's like getting bad in Jamaica. Well, be safe, my friend. I think I have Medar on, but for some reason the Medar station in Kingston has not been displaying any information lately, unfortunately. Earlier it was showing tropical storm force winds, but that was a good 6-7 hours ago. But yeah, I mean, I'll go ahead and bring this back up for you guys. We'll take a look back at the current wind speeds, or the current estimated tropical storm force winds. So here in the yellow, this little blob that you see, this is where we do have the estimated tropical storm force winds, which ranges from 39 miles an hour to 74 miles per hour. So that's sustained. That's where the estimated tropical storm force conditions are at here. So you can see, I mean, pretty much all of Jamaica is already in the tropical storm conditions, and it's only going to go down from there on out. And then, of course, once that storm starts to turn to the north, the conditions are just going to gradually get worse and worse. as those hurricane conditions here and the red little blob that you see are just south of Jamaica right now, but eventually will work its way towards that region there. Let's see, that's so low barometric pressure. Yeah, very, very, very low. Yeah, down to, was it 917 millibars, I said? Very, very low. Is there still a chance it could swing past Jamaica? Nah. At this point in time, I mean, we're pretty much locked in. Here, I'll even show you the latest hurricane spaghetti models here. They're actually in pretty good sync here lately. You can see that they all have the system of, getting ready to turn to the northeast. So that turn should happen not too far from now. But then it has it going over eastern Cuba, which once again, hurricane warnings are in effect for eastern Cuba now, as well as it rolling into the central southern Bahamas, in which hurricane watches for the Bahamas have been issued. And then it'll continue and eventually likely work its way out there by Bermuda. No watches or warnings are in effect for Bermuda, although I do need you guys to be watching it closely out there as well. It won't be as strong as it approaches out there towards Bermuda as it is, down in the Caribbean. But it could still definitely be pretty impactful. So we do need Bermuda to watch it as well. So that's the latest. That's the latest there. So here's the sandwich mode. Latest satellite imagery. You can see that we have a perfectly symmetrical eye. Tons and tons of lightning activity going on in the eye wall, indicating rapid strengthening with the system. Tabletop, there's honestly no way of knowing. I mean, in theory, we still have another month of hurricane season. I mean, hurricane season doesn't end until November 30th, I think. Pretty sure. Let's see, what's the water temp in the vicinity? It is up to 30 degrees Celsius, which is extremely warm, or 86 Fahrenheit. Here, I'll even go ahead and show you guys the sea surface temperatures here. Patrick says, I've never been or experienced a hurricane before. I was in Milton last year. It was a Cat 2 when it hit me here in Florida. They're something. The aftermath is the worst part. In my opinion, just because I'm a storm lover. I mean, I love going through them. Not when they're this strong, though. It was a Cat 2. It was just a nice little storm to come through. But one thing that sucks is the aftermath and the recovery. It's terrible. It's terrible. Would not recommend. But yeah, waters out here are about 29, 30 degrees Celsius, or about 86 Fahrenheit, which is one of the three most important things with tropical cyclones, is the surface temperature heat here from the water. And another thing is the moisture content, which we have plenty enough of. Yeah, like I mentioned, we actually have a lot of moisture. Actually, we'll work our way down here. You can see just how much moisture we have. I mean, we have a lot here. Actually, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. We're going to go closer. Maybe I'll do, let's do regional sectors. There we go. That doesn't really work. Let me try another area. That didn't really work too well. All right, you can kind of see it. Yeah, there's a lot of moisture down here, which is constantly being fed into the system here, right around from Central America, which is, supplying quite a bit of moisture out here. So yeah, the moisture is not going to be a problem either. So we have a lot of moisture. We have a lot of really warm waters out here, and the wind shear is at a minimal too. I mean, we're barely moving, so there's not much horizontal wind shear pushing against it right now. That will increase with time, which is why it's going to start changing directions at some point. But right now, I mean, it's still mostly clocking westward. Not too much longer. It'll probably start pulling more to the north here. Let's see here. I'm in Florida. Have Patrick, bad news, man. Yeah, it's pretty rough. So, Ball, what part of Florida are you in, if you don't mind? I'm actually here in Polk County. Let's see. Had a huge storm in Ireland earlier this year. People were without power for weeks. Yeah. Now they'll do it. You get a really strong low. I mean, it'll knock you without power for weeks and sometimes months. I mean, it just depends on the magnitude. Yeah, I mean, they can be pretty rough. Like whenever you get a steep pressure gradient from a system like this, it'll really kick up. Oh, you're in Ocala. You're just north of me. I'm out here in Lakeland area. All right, let's I'll back to true color. You can't really see much on true color except for the nighttime mode. Sun will be up within the next couple of hours. I don't know if I will be. But we'll get a nice little view of the storm by next update. If not later this update, we'll have to see what happens. I've been up all day doing coverage with you guys. This is the second stream we did. The other one was 4.5 hours we did. We'll take a look at the radar here. So this is Jamaica's radar. You can see pretty gnarly looking storm. Radar shows exactly what the satellite imagery does. Perfectly symmetrical eye for the most part. And you can really make out those individual bands there. You can see like these layers. So yeah, hurricanes are in they're in layers, which is pretty crazy. The way that they're developed is just they're beautiful and ugly at the same time. But yeah, they have multiple different layers, and each band gets worse and worse the closer you get to the center there. So. All right, let's hop on back here. We're going to go back to clean infrared here. So we do have a lot of really heavy convection off to the east of the storm too. As you can see, there's a lot of moisture out here, tons and tons of it. So definitely looking out. We'll definitely watch out for that too. Yeah, all that rain eventually is going to work its way out there by like Haiti and Dominican Republic area. Carrot says, how's the lightning right now? It's doing pretty good. I mean, you can actually see those little plus signs inside. It might be a little hard for y'all to see, but it's definitely pretty crazy. Let me actually try something here for you guys. Hold on one second. I'm going to attempt to do something. It's probably not going to be a very good idea, but we'll do it anyways. I'm going to zoom in as far as I can. Because I can't zoom in on this program here. There we go. Oh, that's actually beautiful. Hold on a minute. I think I'm on to something here. There you go. That's it. So I'll keep that view there. I have another view I can keep up here too. Hold on, I'm just kind of moving some things around here real quickly. There you go. Get y'all a nice little close up there on the eye. Ball says, thanks man, best data I've seen. Yeah, no problem, dude. I got you. Got you guys. But yeah, y'all see those little plus signs there? These little plus signs, these are all lightning strikes. And if you don't know, an excessive amount of lightning in the eye wall means that there is rapid strengthening going on, in which we have been seeing for quite a while now, and it doesn't really seem to be letting up either. Now, the system's either going to maintain its strength or maybe slightly strengthen more by the time it makes landfall in Jamaica. Like I said, right now it is officially a Category 5. We're sustained at 160 miles an hour. Central load down to 917 millibars, and the movement is west at 3 miles per hour. So definitely quite a beast here. Let's go ahead and bring back up the sandwich mode so you guys can see the eye there. I mean, it's, yeah, like I said, it's pretty much perfectly symmetrical there. All right, we're gonna do a little bit of a measurement here. We'll hop you guys back over to this program. So we're going to check on the width. We're going to see how wide the eye is now. Every once in a while, we're going to be hopping back over here to do a little bit of measurements. So from the far western eye wall to the eastern eye wall, it looks like we're just shy of 16 miles. So that's continually shrinking quite a bit. From the northern eye wall to the southern eye wall, we are about 15.5 miles. So what is that? You know what? That's actually like perfectly symmetrical. It's about as symmetrical as these eyes can get. I mean, they're pretty solid. But yeah, I mean, that's a width of 15.5 miles. That's definitely shrinking. You know, like I mentioned, with the combination of, with the combination of the eye wall or the eye shrinking quite a bit, as well as the amount of lightning activity that we're getting here, is definitely a clear indication that we are rapidly picking up some strength here. Let's see, how far away is it? It's still a little ways away. Landfall is not expected until tomorrow morning. So it's still a little ways away out. Like I said, it's moving pretty slow right now. I mean, it's only moving 3 miles an hour. It's only moving west at 3. So there's the big picture. We're going to bring up our infrared view again for you guys. And then we'll zoom back in the eye for y'all. Yeah, but each one of those little plus signs, those are lightning strikes. And you can see that there's just the eye that's getting absolutely flooded with them. If you look closely, you can kind of see the eye shrinking a little bit. Let's see here. Carrot says that's almost a 10 out of 10. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty solid. Like I said, it's beautiful, but not at the same time. You know, it's crazy. But like I mentioned, I just, hope everybody the best. I wish everybody the best. We'll continue to be here. We'll continue giving you guys updates here on the system. We're gonna get y'all through this. We'll be here for you guys every step of the way. And, we got you guys. Just, make sure that you're prepared. Honestly, one thing that I would heavily recommend that you guys do. So say if you are in Jamaica, if you're on the coast, if you're near the coast, go further inland. Find a way to go further inland. And what I highly recommend, the best place to be is if you have to ride it out in Jamaica, which I'm pretty sure all the flights have stopped at this point. But if you have to stay in Jamaica, go to the highest point you can. Go into one of the, on a hill, stay out of the valleys, stay away from the coast, find yourself an upper elevation, and find a structure made of concrete. That will ensure your best chances of making it through this unscathed. But yeah, just definitely stay away from those low-lying spots and all that stuff. So that's some advice I would highly recommend. I mean, you still got about a day before the landfall. So we're about 24 hours away from landfall almost. Maybe a little bit more than 24, but about 26 hours or so. So just be sure to make sure that you guys are ready. And like I said, we'll continue to keep you guys posted with everything. You know, we're not just gonna leave y'all in the dark. We'll make sure that you guys are staying up to date. It's why I highly encourage, if you guys could, maybe consider subscribing. That way, you know, you guys can stay on top of it. I can keep on giving you guys updates, and you know, we're gonna be live a lot. Let's see here. Janet says, "Hi, thank you for this update. Let's see, I'm a Jamaican living in Northeast USA, very concerned. My relatives live in South Central of the island, praying Mother Nature would be kinder to us." And, well, Janet, you're very welcome, and I'm glad to have you here. Hope you're doing well. I wish the best for your relatives. I wish that everything goes all right. Honestly, I wish that nature would just kind of, you know, kill the storm, but I wish. But I wish the best, and thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Let's see, fuel for car, water, canned goods. Oh yeah, so yeah, in your all safe spots, make sure that you have non-perishable foods because the power is going to go out. Okay, power will go out. Make sure you have non-perishable foods, bottled water. Make sure you have first aid kits, medicines all together. Be sure, if you can, have a flashlight, extra batteries. And, you know, if you do have a generator, make sure you have enough gas for it. Make sure it is good on oil. You know, that's stuff that we'd highly recommend that you have and that you do before the system hits. So, all right, hopping back here. So we just measured the eye not long ago. The system, you know, the width of the eye is about 15.5 miles right now. Earlier it was like 17, 18 miles on our previous live stream we did several hours ago. So the eye is obviously shrinking, which, like we mentioned before, you know, a shrinking eye means the system is tightening up. Is really starting to pick up in strength here. Now, the new news that came through about an hour ago, Hurricane Center officially marked the storm as a Category 5. So it is a Category 5. We are sustained right now, so constant winds, and the core is expected, or, you know, right around 160 miles an hour. The central low pressure, the minimal pressure in the eye, is 917 millibars. So pressure has dropped considerably over the last several hours. Good morning, Ashes. Good to see you. Paul says, "Hi from southern England. That storm is a monster. Praying that people will take whatever action to stay safe." Absolutely. Yeah, you know, like I said, y'all, if you're not prepared, please get stuff done as soon as possible. There's not much more time to prepare for the system because, I mean, it's already starting to impact those areas out there. Here, let me actually go ahead and bring y'all up this graphic here real quickly. I'll show y'all where the winds are at right now. Let me get that. There we go. Okay, so the yellow blob that you see here, this is where the estimated tropical storm force winds are at, which tropical storm force winds ranges from 39 miles an hour to 74 miles per hour. So that's where the estimated sustained winds of tropical storm force is. Then you can see the little red circle here. That is the hurricane force estimated wind field. And you can see that that's just south of Jamaica. Now, eventually, you know, we do have a frontal system rolling through off the southeastern U.S. That system is rolling east, and the system will kind of get attracted to it, and it'll start to turn and go to the northeast. So we got to watch out for that. But yeah, I mean, they're already getting impacted, but the the landfall, we're about 26 hours out from landfall, roughly. Take that with a grain of salt because, you know, models, they're not perfect at the end of the day. Storm could wobble a little more, causing it to be delayed. You know, we're not sure the exact hour because, I mean, it could flip-flop, but we're around 26 hours out from landfall. see recon now in outer bands. Yeah, let's actually, we'll take a look back at the recon here. Let's see where the hurricane hunters are at. So the NOAA hurricane hunters, they actually took off from Lakeland. They are just south of Cuba now. Yep, they're getting closer to that system. No data on that yet. We have another mission. Hurricane hunters take off out of Carousel, going northwest. So right now we don't have any, well, none in the eye. These are older storms here, or sorry, older missions here. So yeah, we'll definitely be checking in on these guys every once in a while. We got 2 missions though. One of them's going home, and then the other 2 aircraft are flying in. We got one coming down from the southeast side, coming to the northwest, and we got one coming down from the north. So one from Carousel, one from Florida. What's up, A? Good to see ya. See a large system there? Oh yeah, you know it. Let's actually measure the width. I do want to take a peek and see how long the system is. So from the west to the east, storm is about 250 miles. Actually, this has grown quite a bit. We actually measured it earlier too, like several hours ago. It was only like 220 miles, so it's grown like 30 miles in width here. From north to south, it's a little bit longer, closer to about 270 or 280 miles. From the northern eye wall to the northern part of the storm, that is about 170 miles or so. From the western eye wall to the western side of the storm, it is about 104 miles or so. From the eastern eye wall to the eastern line of main convection, it's about 135 miles. But, you know, like I mentioned, it's a little different because you know, the eastern side, we have a lot of convection, a lot of thunderstorm activity here just east of the main hurricane. So it's, yeah, like I mentioned, we have a lot of moisture, tons and tons of moisture coming up from Central America, just getting flooded into the storm here. So, yeah, moisture is definitely not an issue. Also, the sea surface temperatures here, the waters out here, were 30 degrees Celsius, which is 86 degrees Fahrenheit. So the waters, sea surface temperatures are very, very, very warm. There's really no wind shear either affecting the system. I mean, the storm's only moving 3 miles an hour to the west. So the storm's barely moving. You could literally outrun the storm on foot. That just shows you how slow it is. I mean, average person walks, I believe, about 2 miles an hour. And storm's moving 3, so you could have like a light jog and you would outpace the storm here. That just kind of shows you how slow the thing is moving. It's not moving that fast. But yeah, I mean, there's really not much wind shear affecting the system either. You know, it's pretty much in a very prime environment. I mean, there's you know, there's really not much limitations holding the system back right now. You know, I mentioned this earlier. It's pretty much like full throttle. You know, you got full gas right now. Kind of one of the best environments that a tropical cyclone can be in. You know, a relatively shearless, high ambient surface temperature. You know, high amounts of oceanic surface temperatures. You know, high temperatures and you know, and quite a decent abundance of moisture. You know, a mixture of all that is what gives you a hurricane breeding ground, essentially. All right, let's take a peek back over. We're going to hop to the radar. This is actually a Jamaican radar we have. So we do got some radar data coming through, but it's pretty much showing the exact same thing as the satellite imagery, perfectly symmetrical eye there. Let me see if I can get the latest. There you go. You guys can actually see. Look at that. So there's it in motion. You can see that it's moving. I mean, it was moving directly west. Now it's kind of moving more maybe more west-northwest. Let's see here. This right here is the latest. This is the latest imagery we have from the radar here. But you can already see that some of those outer bands are starting to roll inland. Yeah, but off to the east, you can see there's a lot of precipitation out here. But the system's still pretty far south of Jamaica at this point. But the effects are already being felt. Monster says, is the hurricane rushing towards the east coast? I really, really don't feel like going to school today. No, this is not going to impact the United States directly. We might have some indirect impacts. The waves could get pretty heavy off the east coast of the U.S., but other than that, probably not going to see any, we're not going to see any direct impacts in the United States. Reason being is we do have this frontal system, actually that disturbance that brought a lot of thunderstorm and severe weather activity that is working eastward, which it's going to create a pretty decent low, I should say, which will kind of attract Melissa and pull it to the north. So that's kind of the whole reason why the system will eventually turn north, is because of all that severe weather we had in the U.S. over the last couple days. Let's see. If it stays this slow, might the front coming across far from the west affect its northeast track and track less? Yeah, I mean, more than likely it's eventually going to start pulling to the north. A system that doesn't have much forward speed is very easy to move. So even like the slightest current would really shift the direction of which the storm is going. It really wouldn't take much to move the storm right now, to be honest with you. So, I mean, the system is expected to move pretty slowly, and it's actually probably going to slow even more down as it starts to pull to the north, because it's going to start gaining a new momentum. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it drops down back to like 2 miles an hour. I mean, it's at 3 miles an hour right now. I mean, it's pretty darn slow. Do I think it'll reach the Cayman Islands? Isn't the Cayman Islands in South Bahamas? What are these, the Cayman Islands? Here, let me make sure. Okay. Oh, no, these are the Cayman Islands. Why was I thinking that they're part of Bermuda? Okay, so these islands out here, I mean, you're out of the cone. That's where the center is expected. So it's going to be well east of you. Right now, there's no warnings or watches in effect out there for those islands. I don't know why I thought the Cayman Islands were in South Bahamas. I'm going to blame it on it being 6:30 in the morning and me with no sleep. I'm going to go ahead and blame it on that. But no, you guys will be all right out there. Yeah, systems impacts will be, just east of you. Let's see here. Bradley says, have I been in a Cat 5 in Australia? I've never been to Australia, and I've never been in a Cat 5, but I have been in a Category 2. What's up, Arlene? Good to see you. But we did just recently get some hurricane watches in effect for the central and southern Bahamas. So the pink color that you see here, these are hurricane watches, saying that hurricane conditions are possible, which, more than likely those eventually will get upgraded to warnings, given the almost certainty in its path. We got tropical storm warnings in effect for Haiti's coasts, the entirety of Haiti's coasts. Jamaica obviously has hurricane warnings. Same thing for eastern Cuba. We got hurricane warnings in effect here in the red. Then those newly developed hurricane watches in effect for the central and southern Bahamas. And once again, the yellow blob here, this is where the estimated tropical storm force winds are at. So This is essentially where we are seeing those sustained winds likely between 39 to 74 miles per hour. So that's tropical storm force. And there in the red little circle there, that's the hurricane force winds, or the estimated hurricane force winds. So that's where the hurricane conditions are at. So, all right, let's hop back over here, y'all. We're going to take a peek back at SAT. We're going to bring y'all back over to the sandwich mode. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in just a tad so you guys can see the eye up close there on the mesoscale floater. So y'all see those little plus signs in the middle of the eye there? So that is a lot of lightning activity. So each one of those plus signs indicates a lightning detection from satellite, in which there is a lot of lightning going on in the eye wall. Now, a little bit of a fun fact, whenever you see this, whenever you see a lot of lightning activity in the eye wall, that means that there is undergoing rapid strengthening and strengthening of the system. Also, another clear indicator is that how much the eye has been shrinking. The eye used to be 17 miles across about 7-8 hours ago. Now we're down to about 15 miles across. So the eye has been shrinking quite a bit. Let's see here. Arlene says, I live in Puerto Rico. When Maria hit, it was a life-changing experience. I'm sure it was. But you know what, Arlene, I'm glad to see you're okay, though. You know what? That's all that matters. That's all that matters. What's up, Annie? Good to see you. Is it Ann? I'm sorry. I'm not good with names. I apologize. All right, let's hop over to lower level water vapor here. Just another little view. So you can see all the orange and yellow in the eye. So that's showing that there's a lot of dry air. So very nice and cleared out little eye there. And then the green is showing nothing but saturation and tons of moisture. Yeah, definitely a beautiful looking storm. It's like I said, it's beautiful in a bad way. Monster says, gotta go to school. Have a good day at school, my friend. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. You have a nice day as well, dude. All right, let's check up on the hurricane hunters. What's going on out there? We're going to fix this here. So we got 2 aircraft going into the storm. We got the, let's see here. So we have the NOAA hurricane hunters. They have taken off out of Lakeland, Florida, which is just so happened where I'm at right now. And they've already crossed over into Cuba, passed through Cuba. They passed over the Cayman Islands, and now they are just to the west of Jamaica. So they're getting close. So that's the NOAA hurricane hunters on the P-3 Orion aircraft. Miss Piggy. Then we got the Air Force, WC-130J, Weatherbird, took off out of Carousel and is going northwest, heading to the southeast side of the system. So they're not quite there yet, but they're getting there. They are getting there. And by the way, everybody, if y'all have any questions at all, do not hesitate to ask. We will be more than happy to help you guys. And, like I said, we're just going to continually pump out these updates for you guys. I just want to make sure y'all are staying safe out there, and that you guys are staying weather aware, because, it's very important that we make sure that you guys are, staying up to date with everything and, staying weather aware. It's very important. So let's try some mid-level water vapor here. Really not a lot of difference. There's a lot of moisture out here. Try some of these other satellite views. Ooh, this one looks pretty spooky. This is the Microphysics NT or the NT microphysics. Yeah, it really shows you a good, a good view of where the eye is and where the rest of the convection is. Let's try air mass view. Yeah, this one really kind of shows where the eye is. Just a little ball. All right, let's hop back up to radar. We're going to bring you all back over to the latest radar imagery from Jamaica. So this is the latest imagery we have. I'm actually going to go ahead and update the page just to be sure. Here we go. I don't think it has loaded yet. Here we go. Now it's loading. Oh, there's no images. That's nice. We'll come back to that here in a little bit. Let's see here. Stiff says, what is the wind speed? So right now, the storm is a Category 5 with sustained winds of 160 miles an hour. Central low is down to 917 millibars, and the movement is west at 3 miles per hour. That is a very slow-moving, high-end hurricane. SPC says it's too early for this. Dude, I've been up all night streaming for you guys. It is too early for this, but you know what? It means that I keep you guys informed and weather aware, so it's worth my sleep. It is. It's worth me being sleep deprived. Hey man, if it means I could help save lives and just help people out in general, it's worth. It's worth everything, really. I really like doing this just to help out and make an impact on the weather world. But what you guys are seeing, this is the satellite imagery of the eye of Hurricane Melissa. And if you're just tuning in, the storm is a Category 5 now. Sustained winds of 160 miles per hour. And central low of 917 millibars. And is moving to the west at moving to the west at 3 miles per hour. Let's see, isn't Melissa going too much west? Not really. Yeah, some of the models actually have the system, going a bit further to the west and then turning in. Something like that. It's not just going to go straight north. It's going to have a little bit of curvature to it. Let's see. Bustin says, is it going to hit extreme West Jamaica? Less populated there. Landfall will probably be somewhere along the western or the south central coast of Jamaica, but the effects are going to be felt everywhere. Let me actually bring you guys to one of the biggest concerns, and that's actually going to be rainfall. We're actually going to be seeing an absolute ridiculous amount of rainfall out here. As of right now, the WPC, the Weather Prediction Center, has eastern Jamaica in a little bubble, possibly up to 40 inches of rain. Let me actually update that, make sure we're on the... Okay, yeah, it's the latest. Yep, possibly up to 40 inches of rain on the eastern side of Jamaica. So that's over 3 foot, almost 3.5 feet of rain, which is pretty wild. So that's in eastern Jamaica. Now for the pink areas here, this is 20 to 30 inches or 500 to 750 millimeters of rainfall. The darker red, this is a 16 to 20 inch rainfall zone. or 400 to 500 millimeters. The normal shade of red. The lighter red is 12 to 16 inches, 300 to 400 millimeters. The dark orange is 8 to 12, 200 to 300 millimeters. And the darker yellow is a 6 to 8 inch with 150 to 200 millimeters. So that's how much rainfall is going to fall. Now, also, remember, it's not just Jamaica. Cuba's going to have its own landfall coming up, too. I know we're really talking a lot about Jamaica. That's because they're up first. And then, like I said, it's going to go out there to Cuba. Cuba's going to be getting a Category 3 landfall. Let's see. Does it look like it'll hit the west side of Jamaica? Landfall-wise, yeah, I mean, it'll probably be somewhere along this coast here that'll probably get the landfall. That's what majority of the guidance suggests. So, let's see. Every day is a holiday says, good morning. Has it made landfall in Jamaica? Not yet. So we're roughly about 26 hours from landfall. Roughly. Take that with a grain of salt. We are still quite a bit away. Oops. Let me get that eye nice in view for you guys. Still about a day away, but the impacts have already started. You know, the estimated tropical storm force winds are already engulfing the entirety of Jamaica at this point. Good morning, Christy. Hello, good to see you, my friend. Let's see. Thought that was over the Montego Bay. Could be wrong. I'm not familiar with that area, to be honest with you. What's up, Patrick? Good to see you, my friend. All right, we're going to hop back to the... here, let's bring you guys back over here to this. So we are going to look at the eye again. We're going to measure it again, see what we're looking at now. We've been measuring the eye every once in a while to see the changes. Last time we measured it was probably about 20 minutes ago. And it was about 15.5 miles wide. Yep, so from the west eye wall to the east eye wall, it is 15.5 miles wide. From the north eye wall to the south eye wall, it actually shrunk a little bit. It's down to 15 miles now. So, yeah, the eye continues to strengthen. Well, the storm continues to strengthen, but the eye continues to shrink. Thank you, Stiff. I appreciate it. Sorry about Nightbot. It gotta love it. Christy says, "Am I wrong?" I am not sure. Here, let me look where the Montego Bay is, and I'll see. Oh, this is in Jamaica. Oh, okay. Oh, this is up north. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm still not very familiar with the area. So, Christy, what did you want to know about it? Could the eye go over there? It's possible, if that's what you're asking. Let's see. Is this an unusual track? Does Jamaica get many hurricanes? I'm not familiar with storms outside the U.S. I mean, I wouldn't say it's an unfamiliar track, because, I mean, it's happened. You know, it could happen. This will actually likely be the strongest hurricane on record to ever hit Jamaica. That's what's real significant about this one. This one is definitely a problem. You know, I've heard from numerous sources that this will be the biggest one that they've got. Let's see here. Damien says, I moved to Hollywood, Florida in 1992. A month later, we got smacked by Hurricane Andrew. Yeah. You know what's crazy about Andrew, though, is that was the first storm of the year. You know, start alphabetically. Andrew, which just so happens to be my name, by the way. Fun fact for y'all. But yeah, it's crazy. Andrew was a very tight and compact storm. Kirsty says, "No, Andrew, I'm wrong. I just woke up." You're good. Honestly, I'm really confused as to what you were, where you were going with that. All right, let's hop back over here. We're gonna go back to infrared view. So we're gonna actually zoom back into the eye here for you guys. So there's the eye. Y'all see those plus signs in there? So each one of those plus signs, those are lightning strikes. So you can see that we have an absolute abundance of lightning detection here in the eye wall. So that is a clear indicator that the system is rapidly strengthening. Whenever you see a lot of lightning in the eye wall, that is a clear sign that the system is rapidly strengthening here. Let's see here. Is the countdown to when the hurricane starts? No, this is actually the current time that's going up. No, we're about roughly 26 hours from landfall. Roughly. Let's see. L. Robert says, what is the estimated wind speeds going into the wall? So right now the storm is sustained at 160. Here, let's actually pop in back to the hurricane hunters, see where they're at now. But yeah, right now the Hurricane Center has the storm sustained, so constant winds in the eye, or the eye wall, at 160. All right, let's update this real fast. All right, let's see. So we got two missions. We have the NOAA Hurricane Hunters that took off from... Ooh, actually, you know what? We got 3 now. Or wait a minute. Oh, never mind. You know what? No, we have 2. Sorry. This is just a... I think they just reset everything, maybe. But we got the NOAA Hurricane Hunters that took off from Lakeland. And then they went to the south. Now they're heading into the storm here. Then we got another one that took off, which is the Air Force Hurricane Hunters. So a bit of a fun fact. You have NOAA Hurricane Hunters, and you have the Air Force Hurricane Hunters. The Air Force Hurricane Hunters and the WC-130J, our Weatherbird, took off from Carousel, moving northwest. They are approaching the southeastern side of the storm. And then you got the NOAA Hurricane Hunters that took off from Florida, from Lakeland, have passed through passed through Cuba, west of Jamaica, now heading into the western side of the storm. So we actually have two aircraft that are really close. They're really close to the storm, so we'll be getting some good data here soon. But yeah, like I said, for the people who's wondering, if you're just tuning in, right now it is a Category 5. Melissa is a beast of a Category 5. Sustained winds, so constant winds in the eye wall of 160 miles an hour. The central low pressure is down to 917 millibars and rapidly dropping. And the movement, the storm is moving to the west at 3 miles per hour. It looks like it might be pulling a little bit more to the west-northwest. Maybe a slight push to the north. Could just be wobbling. It's been wobbling quite a bit. So, but anyways, yeah, galactic for sure, absolutely. It is quite a beast here. I'll go ahead and zoom in for you guys here, and like I said, with all of that lightning activity in the eye, that's been going on for hours. That is a clear indicator that the storm is rapidly strengthening. Whenever you see that occur, that means that the system is picking up strength. And we've been measuring the eye, like the width of the eye, for the last several hours. In the previous live stream that we did earlier, we did 4.5 hours of coverage on that one. We measured that the eye was about 17 miles in width. This was about probably 7 hours ago. And now the eye is about 15 miles in width. So the eye has shrunk 2 miles within the last 6-7 hours. And that's another thing is the tightening of the eye is another clear indicator of a strengthening storm and a really powerful system. You really see that whenever you got these really big storms. The eye sometimes get to like a little pinhole. Let's see here. L. Robert says, if it's increasing, I would assume it's in the low 900s. Could it reach a record high of 800 millibars? I mean, there's not really a whole lot of guidance that suggests it getting down into the 800 millibar range. I haven't seen many models suggest that. Although I will tell you, this thing is pretty much dropping at a rate of which most models have not predicted. I wouldn't rule it out, but no way of telling for sure until it happens, basically. But it doesn't look to be stopping anytime soon. It's going. Let's see here. The sun will be up soon. Will that strengthen it? A lot of it's getting the energy from the heat of the ocean. Those sea surface temperatures, that's what's really giving it the strength. The sun coming up, heats up the water over time, which, the water is what releases heat into the storm, which the storm absorbs and, strengthens. But a lot of the energy is from the heat from the water that the sun did heat up. So, nighttime storms can still absolutely strengthen. It's not a day or night thing. What's up, Cheryl? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. How do people even Jamaica? I don't know. Never been there. I've always wanted to go to Jamaica, though. Let's see here. Frappe says the tail of the storm looks like a mini hurricane. Over here? Yeah, we got some really deep convection going on off to the east, really showing that abundance of, moisture that's available. Like we mentioned, there's a lot of moisture out there by like Central America that the system is just dragging up. So we're definitely getting quite a bit, quite a bit overall. Let's see here. Absolutely. Yep. So make sure you keep them in your prayers, y'all. Let's see, tornado warning. I guess we'll take a peek at that real quickly. Where is this at? Florida? This is out by the Panhandle. I got you. Yeah, we got some decent rotation going on with that storm there. Yeah, pretty tight rotation. That's actually here in the Panhandle of Florida, just south of Panama City. Tornado warning in effect for Mexico Beach and what is that? Beacon Hill. So heads up out there. Yeah, man, this weather's been it's been getting pretty crazy lately. We just covered that tornado event. That was through Texas and like Louisiana, and of course now we have the system here. Let's see here. It's quite strong couplet we brought was 63 knots a few scans ago. Yeah, that's crazy. It's pretty wild. Let's see, that's more than decent. Wow. Yeah, I know. We'll keep hopping back to it. All right. See you later, SPC. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. All right, everybody. Let's hop back over here to the rainfall totals. So once again, this is going to be one of the biggest problems for Jamaica. Despite the huge wind concern, we're going to be seeing likely winds upon landfall. I'd say probably upwards of 160 to 165. We'll probably be gusting about 195 to 200 miles an hour at landfall in Jamaica. But on top of the winds, and all that surging that we got going on there too, rainfall is going to be one of the biggest problems for Jamaica. The amount of sheer volume of water that's going to be involved for the system in Jamaica is pretty wild. So here on the eastern side of Jamaica, we do have a little margin in which the Weather Prediction Center has highlighted, saying that we have a possibility of upwards of 40 inches, 40, which that would be about a little bit about 3 feet, a little bit over 3 feet, so about 3 foot 4 inches rainfall. Then the majority of Jamaica, here out in the pink area, this is about 20 to 30 inches of rainfall, or 500 to 750 millimeters of rainfall overall. And then, of course, for the highlighted area here, that is greater than 750 millimeters, pushing it 30 inches or greater, which up to 40 possible. And then, like I said, also, we can't forget about the abundance of rainfall in Cuba, too. They actually have a pretty decent margin of 16 to 20 inches, so the rain's going to continue over there. So that's going to be one of the biggest problems. Hopping over here to this graphic, so this is showing the current estimated wind field of the system. You can see the yellow. This is the estimated tropical storm force wind field. This right here is, you can see that's Jamaica. And, of course, the tropical storm force winds are already engulfing Jamaica. So the conditions already starting to deteriorate a little bit out there. But tropical storm force winds, that's where the estimated wind field is, in which that's where the winds are sustaining 39 to 74 miles per hour. Then, of course, you have the little donut hole here. This is the hurricane force winds, which you can still see is well south of Jamaica. But, as the system does pull to the north here, that will get closer to Jamaica. Let's see here. How do you even prepare? That's a really good question. So if you're in Jamaica, and say you have to stay, say there's no way of evacuating, one thing that I would recommend is if you're near the beaches, go further inland, get away from the coast. That's the first step. If you're in a low-lying area or a flood-prone area, go away from there. So make sure that you are far away from the beaches, far away from low-lying areas. Recommended to be on a higher elevation, and somewhere with a concrete structure. So that is the best place. That would be the best optimal place for you to be if you have to ride this out in Jamaica. So once again, away from coasts, away from low-lying areas, and up in the upper levels if possible, upper elevations with concrete structure if possible. Make sure you have plenty enough water, because we're not going to have any way to retrieve water. It has to be bottled water. Make sure that food is non-perishable, because we're going to lose power. It's going to happen. There is no way power is going to be on during this. So we're going to lose power. So make sure you have non-perishable food, stuff that does not go bad without refrigeration. First aid kit. Have a first aid kit. Make sure to have all of your medicines together, too, in your safe spot. And, of course, flashlight, extra batteries could be good. And we still have a little bit of time to prepare. Like I said, the worst of the conditions is, still yet to come. I mean, we're about, like I said, roughly about a day away, about 26 or so hours out from landfall. Storms, like I said, it's right next to Jamaica, but it's moving very slow. And it's going to take a bit of time, overall. So, that'll be in about a day or so. Let's see here. But hopefully that helps answer, your questions, Tiff. Did that help? Hopefully it did. Let's see here. Glad you're streaming. I always had questions. You mentioned the X's being lightning. Hurricanes seem to intensify through electrical energy. Also, besides warm water. Let's see here. Is it near the South Atlantic anomaly? What anomaly are you talking about? I have no idea what you mean by that, to be honest with you. I ain't gonna lie. But what I was talking about with the plus signs, I think that's what you mentioned. Here, we'll go ahead and zoom into the eye again. That is where we have a lot of lightning activity. That's
clear indicator of a strengthening hurricane is a lot of lightning activity, strong vertical wind shear, really generating that ice crystal formation in the upper atmosphere, which creates a lot of friction, and which builds up static electricity that must be discharged by zapping the ground to neutralize itself. So I'm not trying to go too far in detail, but a lot of this lightning here, like I mentioned, is just a clear indicator. I don't know what you mean by anomaly. I ain't gonna lie. If you could probably elaborate on that, might be a little bit better. Let's see here. Joseph says, where's it going to hit in the U.S.? It's not going to hit anywhere in the United States, no. This is just going to be making impacts for Jamaica, Haiti, Cuba, Dominican Republic, the Bahamas, and even Bermuda in the future. Let's see. Stiff says, yes, thank you, Andrew. Yeah, no problem, dude. I got you. Yeah, I mean, like I said, if you guys have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. More than happy to. All right, let's hop to lower level water vapor scans here. I mean, so the green indicates a lot of moisture. The yellow is more drier air system. There's no dry slots. I mean, it's perfectly healthy. Perfectly healthy storm. Here, let's check in on the hurricane hunters. Let's see what they're up to. I do want to take a look at that. So let's see. Okay, so they're kind of flying around all over the place here. I don't know what they're doing there. Looks like they did a little bit of a kind of a little interesting flight path. Looks like they did a 180 actually. That's interesting. But yeah, NOAA hurricane hunters. They are flying in from the northwest side. We also have the Air Force hurricane hunters. They're starting to get into heavier flight level winds. So, yeah, so they're getting close. So they're up in the southeastern side of the eye, southeastern side of the storm, heading to the eye. Right now, looks like their flight level winds are about 45 knots. So yeah, they're still a little ways away. Pressure is rapidly dropping. That's showing about 1,002 millibars. So that's telling me that they're still very far from the center. That pressure, once it starts dropping, it's gonna drop very quickly. But here's the system. There's the eye. You can see the yellowish orange here. Inside of the eye, and there's a lot of plus signs. Those are the lightning strikes. But yeah, you can see some orange and yellow there. That's the drier air slot here in the eye. The green is the saturated, air here, the very moisture-filled air. But yeah, you can see that orange there. That's the little dry slot. So that's the eye there. I mean, if you couldn't tell, but yeah, there's a lot of lightning activity. Once again, it's a clear indicator of a strengthening storm here. Let's see here. Will the eye pass through Jamaica? Yeah, so there is. We are expecting the system to make landfall at this point in Jamaica. Yes, so the central, the eye will be going through Jamaica. Yes, we still are not 100% sure what parts. What part will get out there. Let's see here. We'll go ahead and bring you guys back over here. We're not sure exactly which part the eye will make landfall, but it'll likely be somewhere on the western or the south central side here. So let's see here. Christy says, from what I'm reading, this could also impact the Bahamas. What's our thoughts? So yeah. I mean, we're definitely going to have likely some significant impacts also for the Bahamas. In the latest assessment from the Hurricane Center, we do now have hurricane watches in effect for central and southern Bahamas. So we are likely going to be dealing with some hurricane conditions at some point for the Bahamas as well. We do need them to prepare out there as well. Now the cone, which we'll actually go ahead and bring up the latest forecast from the Hurricane Center. They do actually have the system here by the afternoon. So this is the afternoon of the 29th, so 2 days from now.
They have the system as it goes through the Bahamas, sustaining winds of about 105. We'll be gusting about 125 at that point. So it'll be a Category 2 as it does go through the Bahamas. So, yeah, there definitely will be still some pretty nasty impacts here out there in the Bahamas. So, we'll definitely be covering them as well. And another thing, obviously, we can't forget about Cuba either. Cuba is also going to be dealing with a pretty significant landfall as well. Not a Cat 5 like Jamaica, but it's still a very powerful Category 3. And at the point of landfall, we're likely going to be sustaining about 120 mile-an-hour winds, gusting about 150, which will be Cat 3. That'll be for the morning of the 29th, right around 2 a.m., from the latest assessment from the Hurricane Center. Now, the timing of which landfall is going to occur in Jamaica will be roughly about 8 a.m. tomorrow. So we're pretty much about a day out from landfall here. So the storm, like I said, it is pretty close to Jamaica, but it is also moving very slowly. Right now, it's only moving west at 3 miles per hour. So, it's barely moving. But it is. But yeah, there definitely will be impacts in the Bahamas, in which we do need to start preparations for the central and southern islands out there. And also, I will tell you this: we also need to watch out for Bermuda as well. They're actually inside of the central cone here. You can actually see the little marker as we approach the morning of the 31st, so early Halloween. Storm will likely still be a Category 1, sustaining about 90 mile-an-hour winds, gusting up to 115 as we approach the morning of Halloween. And it'll be right there by Bermuda. But here's the thing. You can see the cone is still pretty wide. So in theory, the eye could go as far east as this right-hand bracket and as far west as the left-hand bracket here. So with that being said, the hurricane conditions are not guaranteed out here in Bermuda. It's just too early to tell on the extended range, but there likely will be some forms of impacts with the system. It's just kind of unknown exactly what these impacts are going to be. It's just too early to tell. It just depends on the track, how close it gets overall. Let's see here. Elvis says, when will? So I'm assuming he meant, like, when will it make landfall? Yeah, like I said, it'll be making landfall here pretty much tomorrow morning. Yeah, it'll be pretty much about 24 hours from now, about 25 hours or so, roughly. Let's see. Christy says a Cat 1 looks better for Bermuda. Yeah, it's still, don't underestimate a Cat 1. They still are nasty systems. In which, yes, we definitely do got to watch out still, but it's not as significant as, Cuba or Jamaica is going to be feeling here. Let's see here. Sounds good, L. Roberts. Yeah, I'll look into it. But yeah, we'll definitely keep you guys in the loop with everything here. So we're gonna go ahead and zoom in back on the eye here. So once again, if you guys are just tuning in, first of all, welcome. Good to see you here. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. That way we can continue to keep you guys up to date with everything and make sure y'all are staying weather aware. But yeah, like I said, we do have rapid strengthening going on with the system. Right now, it's a Category 5 storm. Melissa's a Category 5, sustaining winds of 160 miles per hour. The central low pressure is down to 917 millibars. And whenever it comes to it, the movement is moving west at 3 miles per hour. Very, very slow. So we'll definitely be continually watching this here, but it's definitely quite a strong storm. Officially now a Category 5. So we'll definitely, keep you guys informed with everything, and we'll keep you guys up to date. I'm going to do plenty of live streams, y'all. We're going to make sure that y'all are staying, up to date, and we'll keep you guys in the loop with everything. But yeah, so we are expecting some strengthening, too, between now and the point of landfall. Hurricane Center, they actually have the system by later this afternoon.
actually having us kind of near 170 sustained, gusting about 200. So we'll keep an eye on it. Let's see. Christy says, thank you. I'm going to get off. I got to get ready for work. I'll be looking for updates. Thank you again, Andrew. Yeah, no problem, Christy. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you stopping by. It's always good to have you here. And thank you for your support. Greatly appreciated. All right, so hopping back over to this graphic here. So this is the estimated tropical storm force wind speeds. So here in this yellow blob that you guys see here, so this is where the estimated tropical storm conditions are right now. So basically, we do have, this is where the winds are pretty much between 39 to 74 mile per hour winds. The estimated tropical storm conditions are here in the yellow. And you can already see that Jamaica is engulfed in those tropical storm conditions. So the conditions have already started deteriorating out there. You know, they're not at hurricane strength yet. That's not going to come for still several hours from now, about a day. Which, like I said, I mean, there's still some time to prepare, but I'm hoping that you guys already have all your stuff done. If not, get it done as soon as possible. Because those impacts are going to really start to flare up here tomorrow morning. Okay, so, and then of course you do have the red little circle here, the little donut hole. This is our hurricane force winds. It's a tiny little area, but it is fierce, that's for sure. Which is just south of Jamaica right now. And, with that frontal system we were talking about, we have a frontal system rolling to the east off of the United States, kick up a low. Melissa's going to get attracted to that low and work its way up here to the northeast. Now, that'll allow for the system to eventually pull to the north here relatively soon. It should be doing that northerly turn in not too much longer, probably within the next couple of hours. And, that'll get that hurricane conditions closer to Jamaica until ultimately it makes that landfall as a Category 5 in Jamaica, and that landfall as a Category 3 in Cuba, and the landfall in the Bahamas likely as a Category 2. So we'll definitely, be monitoring that, and we'll keep you guys updated with everything. Let's see, 917 millibars is terrible enough. Absolutely. Yeah, let's actually let's check in on the hurricane hunters. Let's see what they're doing. Yeah, we have 2 aircraft. We got the NOAA hurricane hunters and the P3 Orion, or Miss Piggy. They are flying into the storm. They took off from Lakeland, Florida, which is where I'm stationed at, and they are flying into the northwestern quadrant of the system right now. And then, of course, you got the Air Force hurricane hunters, the WC-130J Weatherbird, took off from Curacao, going northwest, and is now in the southeastern quadrant of the storm. So we kind of got them meeting head-to-head pretty much. So we're going to have 2 aircraft in the storm here very soon. I mean, they're already in the storm now, but we're going to be getting a lot of good data here very, very soon, which is definitely some great news. And that'll keep us up to date with everything. Now, taking a peek here, we're going to remeasure some stuff here. We're going to take a look here at that. So let's go ahead and zoom in here to the eye. So we're going to go ahead and measure the system here. So from the western eye wall to the eastern eye wall, this is 15.5 miles across. Now, from the northern eye wall to the southern eye wall, we are about 15 miles. So, doesn't really seem like it has changed in the last, 20 minutes or so. Still about the same. But we have been seeing shrinking overall, which, whenever you have a shrinking eye, that means that you got quite a powerful storm on your hands. It also means that the system is likely strengthening quite a bit. Also, with all that lightning activity that we have towards the eye wall, it's been pretty crazy. It's been pretty crazy. But anyways, so not much of change. But earlier, about 8 or so hours ago, we were doing some more coverage, and when we measured it, then it was about 17 miles in width and height. So. With that being said, there's been some shrinkage going on. Now, hopping back to the satellite imagery, taking a look here at the close-up view of the eye, You can see there's a lot of little plus indicators there, and all of those are lightning strikes. And like I mentioned, a little bit of a fun fact is whenever you see a lot of lightning in the eye wall, that indicates that there is a lot of strengthening going on. Really strong vertical wind shear. Lots of friction amongst ice crystals in the upper atmosphere, creating some pretty good static charges, which, like I said, must be neutralized by zapping the ocean. But yeah, tons of lightning activity, giving us clear indicators of system is very healthy, very, very strong, and continuing to rapidly strengthen. So we're going to hop over to the infrared view. We'll actually zoom out again so you guys can see the full picture. So this is the system, quite a beast. So here's Jamaica. You can see the outline of Jamaica right here. System is definitely quite a unit. On the eastern side of the system here, too, you can see we have a lot of convection. Ton of thunderstorm activity on the eastern side. I mean, we have so much moisture with the storm here. Tons and tons of moisture is present on the system. Like I mentioned beforehand, I mean, there's really not a whole lot of limitations right now. I mean, the system is pretty much in a perfect environment. I mean, you have really, really warm sea surface temperatures. Those waters out there are 30 degrees Celsius, which is very, very warm. So 30 degrees Celsius is about 87 Fahrenheit, 86, 87 degrees Fahrenheit. So those waters are very warm. On top of that, you have all that moisture, tons of moisture flow coming in from Central America. There's a lot of moisture out there. And then third, little to no wind shear. Also, you can kind of tell because of the slow movement that the storm has. Not always a clear indicator of that, but storm's only moving west at 3 miles an hour overall. And very, very slow movement, but there's really little to no horizontal wind shear affecting the storm structure. So if you have a really strong amount of winds, that's impacting the storm, kind of pushing against the storm, it could destabilize the structure of a system and causing it to weaken. That is not the case here. And so, like I said, I mean, it's pretty much in the perfect environment. Shearless environment, mostly shearless environment, tons of moisture and very, very warm sea surface temperatures. The sea surface temperatures, like we mentioned, you have to have those of about 26 degrees Celsius or greater for tropical development and sustainability. And we are at 30 degrees Celsius, which is very warm, well above what we need at minimum. Anyways. So enough of the nerd talk. So like I mentioned, the latest information from the Hurricane Center, we are sustained at 160 miles an hour. So the winds are constantly at 160 there in the eye wall. We're gusting likely right around 180 or so. So we're at 160 sustained, gusting likely to right 180 miles an hour or so right now. So that is the current information. Now, the pressure is down to 917 millibars, which has significantly dropped. And the movement, like we mentioned here, is moving west at 3 miles an hour. So, I mean, it's moving very, very slowly out there. Let's see here. See, I also do severe whether I can do both at the same time. I think he needs to talk about it. I will take a look at it. Definitely hop on over here. Yeah, Mexico Beach. Make sure you guys are in your safe spot here in western Florida. Don't see any CC, but that's because it's not over land yet. It's not really have anything to pick up. But yeah, definitely got some pretty tight rotation going on. This is 2,800 feet up. Tornado warning in effect for Florida, Mexico Beach, and Beacon Hill. So we'll pop back on there every once in a while. Yeah, definitely got some pretty tight rotation though. What's up in the kitchen with Katie? Good to see ya. Hope you're doing well. All right, let's take a moment, y'all. We're gonna hop back to the hurricane hunters. We're gonna see what they're up to now. We should have them getting pretty close. I hope they really need to update the point of view of the satellite imagery here. Also, we'll take a peek at the the daylight view since the sun's coming up. Here we go. Okay. Ooh, buddy. Okay, so the hurricane hunters, they are almost in the eye. Look at that. So there's the eye right there, and there's the hurricane hunter aircraft. So they are coming in hot. They are really coming in hot. So we're going to be getting some critical data here very soon. Let's check on the winds already here. Oh, wow. Look at their flight level winds. Rapidly kicking off. And, of course, we have the pressure already down, dropping quickly. No SFMR wind speeds yet. I don't know if the this aircraft has it on or not. RCT says, what is the track? So system's going to be pulling north here. We'll go ahead and bring you guys back over here. I'll go ahead and show you all the track here. So right now the system is just south of Jamaica. System's going to start to shift to the northwest and eventually the northeast. It'll go over Jamaica as a Category 5 here tomorrow morning. Then it'll continue northeast, impacting, making another landfall in eastern Cuba as a Category 3 for the morning of the 29th. We'll be sustaining about 120 mile-an-hour winds, gusting up to 150 here in eastern Cuba. Landfall on Jamaica will be likely right around 160 to 165 mile-an-hour sustained, gusting about 195 to 200 miles an hour. System will continue northeast, eventually going over the central and southern Bahamas, making landfall as a Category 2 system, in which we are going to be seeing, sustained winds of about 105, then gusting up to about 125 or so. It'll continue moving northeast, so it'll hit the Bahamas as a Cat 2, continue going northeast, and could even impact Bermuda, which Bermuda is actually in the center of the cone here too. So, but by then the system will likely have weakened to a Category 1 at that point. But still, could be some decent impacts. So we'll just continue watching that. All right. Good morning, Rachel. Good morning, Darian. Hope you're doing good. What's up, Dave? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. But like I mentioned, guys, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. That way it'll help out the YouTube algorithm. Just help kind of push the channel out there, help get this information out there, because this could be life-saving information. So if you guys could leave a like and hit that subscribe button so we can keep you guys up to date with everything. Like I said, we'll be on it. We'll keep you guys up to date with everything. And like I said, we're here for y'all. What's up, Eric? Good to see ya. But looking here, this is showing us our current tropical storm force winds. So this yellow area here, this is where the estimated tropical storm force conditions are at right now. And you can see Jamaica is in the middle of it. So whenever it comes to it, this is where the sustained winds of 39 to 74 miles an hour is. At here, estimated to be in that yellow bubble, in which you can see Jamaica is in there. Then, of course, to the south, we do have those hurricane force winds, which is in this little circle here. So the hurricane force winds are not yet in Jamaica. That's not going to happen until pretty much the early portion of tomorrow. Tomorrow morning is when we're going to be dealing with that. So. All right, let's hop back over here to the radar. We actually have a pretty significant water spout going on out here in western Florida, out there by Mexico Beach, south of Panama City. Tornado warning in effect for Mexico Beach and Beacon Hill. Make sure you guys are in your shelters. All right, let's go ahead and check back up on the hurricane hunters. Let's see what they're dealing with now. See if we got any new data coming through. Yep, so we have two, there we go. We have two hurricane hunters. They just pierced the core. All right, there we go. So you guys can see they flew in the northwestern side of the storm. They just breached the eye, and they just came out. So let's see what data we got. Ooh, okay. Oh, buddy. All right, so they don't have surface winds, unfortunately. But we do have flight level winds of about 150 to 155 knots. What? Oh my gosh, dude, the pressure's dropped so much. So the bottom line here is this is 910 millibars. Pressure is likely in the 9, probably right. I mean, it's hard for me to give an exact number, but it's lower than it was before. Right now, last time it was at 917. It's probably more towards 914, somewhere right around in there right now. That is just incredible. Yep, so they just breached the cord there. Hopefully soon we'll get some drop sonde data. Yeah, radio sondes for weather balloons. Drop sonde is what they drop in the storm. Let me check on the other hurricane hunters. So we have those are the NOAA, not the nerds. Well, they're the flying nerds, I guess. But those are the NOAA hurricane hunters. Let's check up on the. Oh, here they go. Yep, here's the Air Force hurricane hunters. They took out a carousel. Yep, so you can see there's the eye, and there's the Air Force hurricane hunters there. Let's see here. Asin says, "Thanks for the info, bro." No problem, dude. I got you. Like I said, we're here for you guys. We'll keep you guys up to date. What's up, Raymond? Good to see you. Hope you're doing good. What's up, Justin? Saying they got Category 5 winds, 155 knots in the northwest Iowa. Yeah, that's flight level. That's flight level winds. It could be a little different. They fly at 10,000 feet, I believe. Let's see here. See Teal 76 flying through the eye as well. Really? So there's 3 aircraft in there. I'm only seeing the 2. I don't think I've ever heard of a Teal 76 though. I know the NOAA Hurricane Hunter, the P3 Orion, and then you got the WC-130J, which is the Air Force Hurricane Hunter aircraft. So yeah, they're getting ready to breach through the eye. But yeah, we also got it turned on the SFMR wind speeds here. Starting to increase quite a bit. Also, their pressure is dropping. Let's see here. Roger says, I'm in a life raft just north of Jamaica. Do I think I'll be okay? I don't know why you're in a life raft, but yeah, the storm's going to be passing through the north side of Jamaica too. So definitely got to be weather aware out there to make sure that you are out of the region. Yeah, if you wouldn't recommend being on a raft. Let's see. Justin says they got a pressure of 912 millibars. Let's see, with 24.4 wind barbs equivalent to 910 millibars, and that means intensifying faster than HFSB V2. Last night, 18 Zulu had 200 mile an hour wind landfall at 886. Yeah, actually, I mentioned that earlier. The fact that it seems like the system is actually strengthening than what the majority of the models have predicted. You know, it just goes to show you guys, once again, that, you know, not all models are perfect. Far from it. They're far from that. All right, let's hop on back here. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on both the hurricane hunters. Yeah, I do see that 912.4 millibar. Holy cow, dude. 912.4 millibars. Yeah, so the storm, we're probably pushing more towards 165 mile an hour winds. That's crazy. Let's see here. Yeah, that's my exact thoughts, Cheryl. Let's see. Roger says, seriously, I heard that last night Jamaica could see 30 to 50 inches of rain. So, Weather Prediction Center has it at 40 inches of rain, but still no joke. Here's the latest guidance on the Weather Prediction Center's graphic here. So you can see East Jamaica, possibly up to 40 inches of rainfall here. So that's greater than 750 millimeters of rain. The pink area here, this is 20 to 30 inches of rainfall. The dark red, this is 16 to 20 inches. The normal red, the bright red, 12 to 16 inches. We'll see, Justin. We'll see what happens. Let's see. Asin says, does it look like the storm will go more west from Jamaica before going north? So the way that the guidance has it suggested, the hurricane models are kind of zoomed out too far from the site that I always use. But so the system's going to continue west a little bit more, but it's going to start to do that turn within probably the next couple of hours. But yeah, it's going to continue going west a little bit. It's going to start to curve in, and then it's going to start going northeast, in which, we'll definitely be watching that. But yeah, it's probably going to be making that landfall somewhere along the western or south central side of Jamaica. That's crazy, Justin. Yeah, a lot of the models think that the pressure is actually higher than what it is. Models can't keep up with its, its drop. Some parts of Jamaica got lots of rain. Trees began falling since yesterday morning. See, it's quiet at this point. I'm in St. Ann. Gotcha. Well, stay safe out there, Carl. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be a problem with all the rain that we're going to be dealing with here. I mean, not to mention all the winds that will be coming too. You got the water that's going to really, loosen up the, the soil, which, we're going to be getting a absolutely crazy amount of rainfall. But the water is going to be loosening up the soil quite a bit. And then, of course, the winds are going to make it, easy to top over trees. So, yeah, that's something you got to look out there for. All right, let's hop back to Florida here. Take a peek at that storm. So we do got some rotation. We have tornado warning for Mexico Beach and Beacon Hill. Don't see any correlation coefficient, so no CC drops right now. But make sure you're in your shelter, Mexico Beach and Beacon Hill, Florida. Tornado warning in effect. We got tornadoes and hurricanes going on. Man, when will this weather calm down, dude? I mean, it's been pretty calm for most of the season, and now the fact that it starts kicking up, it's like I already want it gone. I'm so tired of it. I just want to relax, but it's all good. Like I said, I'm glad that I'd rather waste my sleep in making sure that you guys are staying safe. So let's see. Just making a southwest jog again. It's going to be wobbling quite a bit. Let's see. Yeah, it's still well within the cone, though. Once it starts, really pushing... If it pushes out of the cone, then it could be a bit more concerning, but it's still relatively within the cone of uncertainty here. Let's see here. See, thanks, man. It's really bad for us in Jamaica. Yeah, you're very welcome, dude. I got you. And like I said, my prayers will be with you guys, and I'll make sure to do whatever I can to help out. Like I said, I'm doing everything in my own power. I'm hoping to make some type of difference on the storm here. I mean, obviously, there's nothing I can do about the storm itself, but what I can do is keep you guys informed with the information that I know, and keep you guys up to date. All right, let's hop back over to the hurricane hunters real quickly. We're gonna hop on over here again. Let's see here. All right, so here we go. Ooh, buddy. All right. Oh, my goodness, dude. Oh, wow. So the Air Force hurricane hunters are now in the eye. At this point in time, they're probably piercing the northwest eye wall. But looks like we're at about 150 to 155 knots. So that's surface winds, by the way. So that would push us pretty high. Let's see, what are we at now? So we're at 160 sustained. I need my knots to mile an hour converter. Let's see here. Get that going here for a minute. So what did I say, about 155? Ooh. That's about, wait, that's not right. That can't be right. It's showing 180 miles an hour. Oh my gosh, dude. Wait, do you guys see this? Here, let me zoom in so you guys can see this, right? So here's our surface winds, right? This is the SFMR. You can see the peak here is right about there. That's 145 knots. That's 160. So it's like kind of right between. It's like right between 145 and 160. What is that? About 150 to 155 knots. We'll say 153, right? That pushes us to 175 miles an hour. 176, but we're rounding. What the heck, dude? So there's a chance that the storm right now is about 170 to 175 miles an hour sustained. That is utterly ridiculous. That is unbelievable. Hopefully we'll get that new set of data coming in soon. Wow, dude. What a beast, man. Here, let's zoom back in the eye so we can get a closer view of it. I mean, with the amount of, lightning activity that we've been seeing in the eye and all that stuff, I mean, I'm not really surprised, to be honest with you. Goodness. Let's see. Yeah, carrot for sure. I mean, I am, but I'm not surprised at the same time. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm just more surprised of actually seeing the data to back up what I was thinking was going on. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, here in a few minutes we'll get that new update. Oh, let me zoom out so you guys don't just see a little squiggle on the screen. So, let's see. So they had about 140 flight level winds, but the surface level winds were about 150 knots. I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, that, like I said, that pushes us into 170 mile an hour winds, 175. So 170 to 175 mile an hour winds is likely what we're sustaining right now. And that pressure has dropped down to 912 that we know of. Well, here, let me actually go back here real quickly. Yeah, we'll have to wait till we get the new set of refresh of data come through. Let's check up on the other hurricane hunters, on the NOAA hurricane hunters here. All right, so they are flying. Yeah, so the hurricane hunter, there you go, 916 drops on there, but onboard instruments showed 912 millibars. They are going to the southeast, so they were in the northwest quadrant. Now they're going to the southeast quadrant here. So they're probably going to pull north, then they're probably going to go southwest and then pierce the eye again. So that's the NOAA hurricane hunters. That's Miss Piggy. Hopefully we'll get that new refresh soon. Come on, man. But yeah, pressure right now in the storm is right around on 912 millibars. And right now it looks like it's about 912 millibars, sustained of about 170 to 175. Hurricane Center last update has it at 960, but there's been a lot of changes since then. Things rapidly intensifying, which is just unbelievable. Y'all, I better get to bed soon. I wish I could stay up. I wish I had like an infinite battery or something that could just like somehow be up a lot longer. But yeah, I mean, I've been live on this stream for 2 hours, and then we did a 4.5 hour stream before this, a couple hours prior. So your boy has been pushing about 6.5 hours of coverage today. I better get some sleep though, because I am whooped. But I'm gonna wait till this next update comes through, which will hopefully be soon. And once this comes through, then we'll let you guys know. Justin says they found 158 knots in the northwest eye wall, 912 millibars. Wow. Yep, so that confirms it's, what, about 175 sustained? That is ridiculous. So, yeah, more than likely, y'all, right now we are seeing the system's low right down to about 912 millibars. And wind speeds in the eye wall are about 170 to 175 miles an hour, which is just crazy. Let's see, or southeast. I'm pretty sure it'd be northwest, right? Yeah, northwest. Got it. All right. Let's see. Yeah, once this new update comes through, I'm gonna go to bed because I've been up all night. I gotta go to sleep, man. And sun's already out, man. And it's all good. Like I said, I mean, if this info could potentially help save lives, it's worth my sleep. Big time. All right. Yeah, they update this every 10 minutes. See, it has no sign of slowing down either. Yeah, for real. It's just, I mean, the rate of which it's strengthening is utterly ridiculous. It's a 4-knot increase in the northwest eye in like 30 minutes. That's crazy. Here, let's zoom back in on the eye here. So there's clean infrared. Eye wall. Actually, you know what? Let's measure the eye again. Let's see how big it is now. So from the west to the east, still about 15.5 miles. From the north to the south, 15.5 miles. All right, so it's like perfectly symmetrical right now. Cheryl says, get some rest, Andrew. Huge cold front coming in tomorrow. Talking 40s. Ew, no thank you. But yeah, I'll definitely be getting to bed here very soon. Oh, here we go. Oh, buddy. No. Am I seeing this right? 165 knots? Huh? There's no way. Guys, Hurricane Hunters just measured 165 knots in the eye wall. That's pushing 190 miles an hour. I don't believe it. What the heck, dude? That's got to be a gust, right? Oh my gosh, dude. What's that pressure at? 912. Oh my goodness, dude. Yep, so they also measured 912 millibars. Dude, the rate of pressure drop is just nuts. Yeah, Justin, I wouldn't count that. I did see that flag, too. Nathan is not heading out into the Atlantic. This is heading right for Jamaica, Cuba, Haiti. Well, indirectly for Haiti. But anyways. Yeah, I know they don't do gusts. I just wonder, I mean, could it pick up gusts? Not familiar with those aircraft systems too much, but whatever it is, that's ridiculous. All right, everybody. I got to get some sleep, dude. I've been up for over 20 hours. I got to get some rest. But that's going to conclude it, y'all, for now. We'll be back on later this evening for sure. We'll keep you guys in a loop with everything. But if y'all enjoyed it, leave a like, hit that subscribe button. It'll be greatly appreciated. If you guys could maybe consider sharing the stream too, just to help spread awareness, it would be much, much appreciated. And that way it'll help kind of get the word out there, you know. So if you guys could do that, that would mean everything, and it would be very helpful. But all right, everybody. Y'all take care. Have a great, great rest of your day. And we'll see you guys in the next one. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining. See ya later on.